listening to Mr. Blambo very succinctly. We had a conversation, two of us, for 30 minutes, and he will give you an entire narrative of what's going on right now. But before I play this audio, for all of you to listen, I just want to give you a summary of what is going on right now pertinent to the situation of those three children who were kidnapped and trafficked by St. Moses. The police said they don't know what to charge St. Moses with. For God's sake, that's kidnap. That's trafficking. How will you tell us you don't know what to charge St. Moses with? Higher ups, big shots are involved with ritualistic killing in Liberia. That's why St. Moses has not been arrested, handcuffed, and jailed by now. If it was somebody else who is not linked directly to higher ups or big shots in this government, that person who have been arrested by now. But because it's St. Moses. Do you know the relationship of St. Moses with the government? A very close relationship. A very close relationship. Why did the government take the quote-unquote autopsy to the St. Moses funeral parlor? Why? Why St. Moses was the very first on Broad Street that day when the corpses or the dead bodies of Gifty and Albert were discovered? Why? Have you ever asked yourself some of these fundamental questions? Have you? Have you? But what I can tell you, the children have been identified, they have been found, but you are listening to the father. They are making preconditions before they release the children. Can you imagine? How can you be making preconditions for people's children? You see how wicked the country has become? You see how wicked the country has become? The man who was holding the children is named Vogbo. They have arrested Vogbo. Vogbo was taken over by the head of the traditional council, Zanzankawa. Vogbo now is in the custody of the police. He held those children on the island, and he has said the children are alive. But there are preconditions to meet before they release the children. You are listening to Gion Boy's father, Mr. Blambo. He was very clear. And he permitted me to recall him because I asked him, can I recall? He said, yes, go ahead. You've been informing the public and you've been working with us very hard, so you can go ahead and recall. So I'm going to share the audio with you. I'm going to share this audio with you. You are listening to the father. But here is the precondition to releasing the children. What is the precondition? Many of you want to know. The precondition is the Ministry of Internal Affairs, which supervises or superintends all traditional activities in the country, is supposed to produce an officially authorized certificate of permit. And the reason for the certificate of permit is to ensure or guarantee the release of those children. With all the permit, those who are holding the children are saying they can release them. Can you imagine? You see wickedness in high places? You kidnapped, you trafficked the people's children. They have been identified, they have been found. Release them and you are putting down precondition. Government sitting and watching, looking. That's a ritualistic act. People should be arrested and be unbiased by now. People should be arrested. Have we not been putting pressure? But now that those children are dead. Why should the people go to the Ministry of Internal Affairs for certificate to free their own children as though the children committed crime? Even if they committed crime, do you have the right to hold them? I thought we got court system in the country. Fellow Liberians, those of you watching this podcast, please answer me. I thought we have court system in the country. If those children commit crime, they should go through the legal process to exonerate themselves or to prove their innocence. But you take them to the traditional bush to execute them, to kill them. That's God. It has to be God. So what I can inform all of you is that the children are alive. They are alive. They are not dead. But there are a number of preconditions, formalities to satisfy. So I'm going to play the voice of the father. This is from the horse's mouth, not Martin Colley. I'm just being used as a conduit to protect the human rights of those children. Like all of you are, All of us have been involved with this, putting to bed. That's why those children aren't dead by now. If we're not putting public pressure on people, those children are dead, though. I'm telling you, serious thing, the intent is to sacrifice them. You see how wicked those people are? Ritualistic killing. It's everywhere in the country. People are dying. Innocent lives are being snatched. Liberia is in trouble. So let me play this. I got a lot of audios to play today. So listen to the newest update on the case. The government is directly involved in this case. Listen to the father. You think that's in Moses alone? That's in Moses alone. Plenty of people linked to ritualistic killing in that country. So all of you have to be very cautious and careful. Don't trust anybody in Liberia nowadays. That's my advice to those who are home. Do not trust even your best friend. Do not even trust family members. Ritualistic killing is on the increase under George Weah because the government feeds on blood and human sacrifice. If you are not aware, be aware now. Those are arrogant illiterates. They don't know anything. They don't know how to create wealth, but they want power, fame, and money. So what do? They feed on human sacrifice. So Liberia is in trouble. Only God can help us right now. Only God can help us right now. Everybody in that country is in trouble. There is fear everywhere. Fear everywhere. Somebody called me this morning because when it is morning where I am, it is in the evening in Liberia. Somebody called me this morning and said, Martin, by 7 o'clock, everybody running home. I said, why should it be? Was this what President Weah promised you? By 7 o'clock, you should be running home because ritualistic killing is on the increase. Mysterious deaths have overwhelmed the country. Was this the promise in 2017 from Mr. Weah? To kill innocent people? To loot the coffers of the country? But we will not stop defending the basic rights of our people. Let Mr. Weah be aware. Let Nathaniel McGill be aware. Let Samuel Toy be aware. They will account for everything they are doing now. Tomorrow, history will call them to account. Go ahead and keep killing our people. Keep killing our people. You killed the 4 auditors. You're passing around free there. You think it's free? You think it's free? They audited you, they investigated you, and they discovered that you abused, mismanaged, and misapplied 48.6 million. Because of the report they gave you to respond to, you had to kill those 4 auditors in cold blood. So their death sentence was the audit report. The death sentence of those auditors was this audit report that is in my possession. I'm about to release to you. So let me play the audio. Listen, my people. His name is Robert Blambo, Sr. He is about to speak. There are 2 representing the families, Mr. Blambo and Mr. Conner, and they have been insistent. They have been critical and persistent. We want our children back. You heard St. Moses on the other audio that they were disrupting me on Monday. He negotiating how much he can pay for the children. We said bring the children back. You say how much you can pay? We said we want the children back. We don't want money. He asking the family members how much he can pay for the children. Oh, the children are alive. Bring the children back. You say how much you can pay for the children? Who told you the people were selling children? Who told St. Moses people were selling children? He asking how much he can pay for the children. Whereas the children are alive on an island. And the owner of that island has already been arrested. His name is Vogbo. You're listening to everything today. I will read a lot of communications to you. I will play a lot of audios. Stick and stay with us. This is Voices from Ezra with activist Martin K. and Cully. These are very interesting conversations. These are sad times in the motherland. The only thing we have to do right now is to rescue the republic from its dying state. So I'm going to play for you. Let me play this audio for you. Listen attentively. But I told you they wanted to kill those children. I told you. Those are murderers. Ritualists. Ritualists have taken over the country. Ritualists. People are dying in cold blood. No justice for the poor. No accountability. No transparency. No equality. No freedom. No liberty. What was the essence of electing Mr. Weah then? Those of you watching this podcast, tell me, what was the essence? What was the essence? Did you elect Mr. Weah to kill you? or to kill your family members? Was that the deal? Was that the agreement? Was that the social contract? I don't think so. So let me play this, fellow Liberians. Listen very well. I'm going to play now. Can I seek your permission to record? So listen, because I want to record what you're saying. Can I record it? Can I seek your permission to record? Because I want to record what you're saying. Can I record it?
Yeah.
Okay, then please say what you said just now, since you've given me your permission to record.
On the actual garden show.
Right.
To the world what was obtaining in the bush. And then yesterday morning we were called by the director of police to Central. They wanted to be with the 3 families. And we went there. When we got there, but then we had already started negotiating with the traditional chief, Zanzan Kawa.
Right.
We begin to negotiate with him to see if he could just end the work because he was able to establish everything. That one that was looking Kapsa, Utu, the children were not missing but were being held hostage somewhere. But because the traditional practice were being banned, so he decided that we get permit for the internal affairs. Or if we can get a permit, then the police will have to do their work because the government said anything of such later, we should contact the police, should be responsible to handle it. So he wanted this permit. This how. You follow me?
Yeah, I'm following, Pop. Go ahead. I'm listening very loud and clear. Go ahead.
Ready?
Hello? I'm getting you. Keep hitting the share button. The conversation continues. Mr. Blamo is speaking. I'm getting you. Go ahead. Hello?
Let me call you back, yeah?
But listen very well, fellow Liberians. Yeah, getting you now. I'm on Messenger now. Hello? Oh, God. The network was giving some difficult time. Hello, Pop?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm getting you now. You can go ahead. I'm getting you loud and clear. We are on Messenger now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the director office, and we had the open discussion. The police director spoke with him on the phone and with on loudspeaker. And he said that they have mandated the police to go into the trouble spot and find the children. Said they knew now that the children were not dead but missing. And they invited the Internal Affairs Minister because we are going to the Minister of Internal Affairs with a letter requesting him to empower Chief Zanzan Kawa.
Listen, fellow Liberians. That's Mr. Blamo speaking. Liberia is in trouble. Killing our people for no reason. For money, power, and fame. Wow. The people never expected this dead end. No, they never expected this dead end. This was never what they settled down for.
So, the director office, and we had the open discussion. The police director spoke with him on the phone and with on loudspeaker. And he said that they have minister to go into They travel spot and find the children. Said they knew now that the children were not dead but missing. And they invited the Internal Affairs Minister because we are going to the Minister of Internal Affairs with a letter requesting him to empower Chief Zanza Kawa to have the children brought back. The minister said his assistant minister to meet with us as a family at the director of police office.
Right.
And told us that they were going to meet Zanza Kawa and instruct him to go. So all give the money in high spirit here to proceed to wherever the way we can get to the island upper Handy.
Right.
Across the Sipor River.
Right.
To get the children out. But for all intention, the children are on the island.
Okay. So it was established. So it was established that the children are on the island, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, in it?
That's
good news. Go ahead, I'm listening.
We take to Sazakawa now to see if we can all go together. Because certainly they inform us that this thing is spiritual. There's a ritualistic thing going on. You gotta be spiritually prepared to go there.
Wow.
So we decided to go there under his guidance and protection.
Now, be right finish, oh.
But in time we got to Sanakawa this morning, Sanakawa said he will not take one step until he get the permit from the Ministry of Internal Affairs because say this to him verbally, he don't trust that when he's doing and he's being questioned tomorrow, he will not have anything in his defense.
Right.
So if we serious as a family, we should go to the minister. And the minister will let him do a permit to him, waiting instruction, and then he will go. We've been trying to get the minister to know if the minister can answer his phone. So we might get in contact with Senator Prince Johnson. Senator Johnson called him and then they had some misunderstanding. Senator Johnson was so angry if y'all want to incite violence in the country because if y'all continue there and the kids don't children, the Nibari will go after the people in the poor bush there too. The war will start. So y'all get a permit. And as I speak to you, nothing is being done. So we're trying to form a delegation now to go and see if we can meet the minister personally and ask him why he is not able to give us the permit.
So the only hold on right now. So the only hold on right now to release the children is the permit from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, right?
That's the only hold on right now.
Okay. So there are a few facts to establish here. Number one, the children are alive. Number two, the only hold on to release those children except the Ministry of Internal Affairs produces or gives a permit. Am I getting you right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Wow. All right. So the Minister of Home is off.
The Minister of Home is on and really not answering. That's all.
So you guys were at the ministry this morning?
We did a misunderstanding because everything we decided yesterday, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Associate Minister told us that they were coming and Zalakawa confirmed that the key had talked to him verbally, but you know what can happen.
Right.
They will start accusing him, and we suspecting the way he's saying it, like some big head.
You hearing it? At the end of the day, when he bring the children with all the permit, they will start suspecting him. The way we're looking at it, there is some hands. You listen to the father. Let's go.
Behind it.
Exactly. So Zanzankawa is willing to release the children, but all he needs is a permit from the ministry, so that tomorrow they can blame him for releasing the children without permit. Am I getting you right?
Exactly.
All right.
That's why he does the condition.
Okay. All right. So this morning, that was the meeting you and Zanzankawa had. Zanzankawa said he can go to release the children except the ministry authorizing him through a permit.
issue the permit. They're not going to move with any driver instruction.
And what is the police saying? After getting such feedback, what is the police saying? What is the police director Patrick Sudu saying relative to the conditions Zanzan Kawa has put down?
Patrick Sudu say, even though he's the African man, he don't believe he knows the African thing works, but a police operation is scientific. So they believe in fact. Nobody going to tell him about condescend, this and that. So that should be our responsibility to deal with it. But he already dispatched the police. According to him, he dispatched his police to go there.
When did he dispatch the police?
He dispatched 45 men, same day morning.
And you confirm that? You confirm that they have been dispatched?
Yeah, confirmed.
Wow. Don't go, fellow Liberians. I will play the thing one more time. I'm still playing more audios. You hearing that? Zanzan Kawa is saying he can go right now and get the children, but he needs permit from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. They've been calling the minister Sunday morning. The minister said, okay, tomorrow you guys come for the permit, which was this morning. He said that yesterday. Tomorrow you come for the permit. They went for the permit today. The minister cut off his phone. So you think it is only St. Moses involved in ritualistic killing? There are big hands behind this thing. But you listen to Mr. Blamo. Mr. Blamo has a connection with Nima. He's from Nima. He's already contacting the people from Nima. So that war coming small. Y'all be playing with the children. Mr. Blamo and his wife, they are from Nimba. The Nima people come and get involved now. Then a big war now y'all come and bring. How y'all get the people children? They say y'all bring the children, but then y'all putting conditions down as though the children committed crime. I'm on live, man. Please. I'm on live. How y'all get the people children and y'all keep doing what y'all doing? Who's that?
It's me.
No, Moses not yet. I'm on live.
Tell them that you talk slowly.
All right, okay.
People are sleeping, they're complaining.
All right, sorry. So the point is, how will you get the children? And you say, oh, Zanzan Kawa should bring permit before he release the children. It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make sense at all. So what we are saying, fellow Liberians, the best thing right now is for the minister to issue the permit and the people go to the bush and release the children. Okay, so they were sent to the bush with guns or what?
The problem now is where to go and where to start from.
But is somebody leading them? Is somebody leading them to the particular area? Because I'm hearing island. So do they really know the island?
We told them about the place yesterday, but the suspect who owns the island is a guy who lives only on the island, one man they call
Vokwa, okay.
And he's the only one that lives on the island.
So Vokwa has been arrested.
And it was his, yeah. Let me go back small.
Yeah, getting you now. I'm on messenger now. Karen, but all he needs, police saying, what is the police director Patrick Sudu saying relative to the conditions Zanzan Kawa has put down?
Patrick Sudu say, even though he's the African man, he don't believe he knows the African thing works, but a police operation is scientific. So they believe in fact. Nobody going to tell him about condescend, this and that. So that should be our responsibility to deal with it.
Wow.
But he already dispatched the police. According to him, he dispatched his police to go there.
When did he dispatch the police?
He dispatched 45 men, same day morning.
And you confirm that? You confirm that they have been dispatched?
Yeah, confirm that.
Okay, so they were sent to the bush with guns or what?
The problem now is where to go and where to start from.
But is somebody leading them? Is somebody leading them to the particular area? Because I'm hearing island. So do they really know the island?
We told them about the place yesterday, but the suspect who owns the island There's a guy who live only on the island, one man they call Vokwa.
Vokwa.
And
Okay.
he's the only one that live on the island.
So Vokwa has been arrested.
And it was his, yeah.
To the particular area because I'm hearing island. I'm hearing island. So do they really know the island?
We told them about the place yesterday, but the suspect who owns the island. There's a guy who live only on the island, one man they call Vokwa.
Vokwa. Okay.
And he's the only one that live on the island.
So Vokwa has been arrested.
And it was his, yeah.
Okay, let me play this other audio for you. You know, there's one man that live on the island. His name Vokwa. He has been arrested. The island the children are on is beyond Hendy. You know, Hendy is in Bon County, Central Liberia. So let me play this one.
Anytime they leave for question, he reports everything to the police station and goes back.
Wow. This is terrible.
But we know there's no big head behind it, so police can be here anywhere.
Wow. But if anything happens to that children, that country, different thing will happen. Oh, because everybody is aware that the children are alive. Any attempt, anything otherwise, there will be crisis in our country. That one, they should just know that one. They should know that one clear. Yeah. So, let it be playing politics. I just wanted to get your side so that the audience tonight can listen to the latest update. Yeah, I appreciate the time. I appreciate the update. I will keep in touch with you, Pat. Say hi to the family and remain strong. We are with you. We are standing with
I
you.
will get a contact from my daughter. Any later information, I will call you and update you.
All right, Pat. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. Let's depend on God. Everything will be okay. God will intervene. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Fellow Liberians, you listening to the father of Giambo Blamo. You know, they have been very, very persistent. Very, very persistent. Somebody just sent me a message, and the message reads, I'm going to read the message for you. The minister phone was on for the longest, but he refused to answer calls because he knew the boy's family were calling him. Somebody who is working with the ministry. I'm not going to say the person's name, but they just sent me this message. The phone of the minister was on. So what he did, he put their number on blacklist. They could not get him. Why? The question is why? You know, all of you agree that today they were going to get the permit. Where is the permit? They were going to get the permit today. Where is the permit? You should give them the permit according to the arrangement so that they go and get the boys. The boys are not there. They are alive. So why are they playing politics with this thing? I'm going to play another audio for you. Don't go away. Keep hitting the share button. Keep hitting the like button. This is really sad, fellow Liberians. This is more than sad. And those of you watching this podcast, you listen to the father very carefully. He's from Nima. He said Nimbayans are about to get involved because they will not allow you to kill their grandchildren like that. No. They will not allow you. The children are not dead. The children are still alive. But what they want to do, they want for all of us to give up, then they go and sacrifice them. That is the plan. That is the plan. When all of us keep quiet, when all of us give up, when all of us say, oh, let's forget it, then they go and sacrifice them. They sacrifice them, probably they throw their bodies in the water to confirm the lies that Simose has been telling. Because of our public pressure, because of God first, and public pressure second. That's why we are getting this news of the children being alive. And the children are alive. The father has been very clear and consistent. Zanzan Kawa went there, the children are alive. But the question is, why are they keeping the children? You cannot agree with the families that, oh, today, this morning, we will go and we get the children. And the minister, they have told the minister not to answer his phone. But you know, what we are getting into now, you listen to the father, we are getting into war. The father said there will be war. There will be war because his people from Nema are coming to get involved now. You can kill people, children like that? For what? Those of you watching this podcast, is it fair? Okay, you go and tell Mr. We are children, you kill them. Is it fair? So what kind of right they get to kill other people's children? You go, you take some Mosaic children, you kill them. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. They've been doing it for long. That God moved from behind and so. They are young men, but they are the people's children. The reason why I'm calling them children because they are children of people. But they are around the 30s. Early 30s, all of them. So why do you want to kill the people's children for what? For ritualistic purpose? To make sacrifice? Liberia has turned into something else, of fellow Liberians. Liberia has turned into something else. Imagine the leader of the traditional council has confirmed that the children are not dead. And he's even willing to help the families. He said, I'm willing to help the families. All I need, let the Ministry of Internal Affairs give me the go-ahead, the authorization through written release. I will read a letter the family wrote, right? Because the Ministry of Internal Affairs said the family should write a letter requesting the ministry to give them the permit, and the family wrote that letter. I'm going to read the letter. We have all the details. I'm saying to the government of Liberia, I'm saying to St. Moses, if anything happens to that, to those children or to any one of them, they will be held fully liable. We can tell you for a fact. If anything happens, they will be held fully liable. So let me read this letter from the family. Listen to the letter. I'm going to read this letter from the family. It's directly from the families. The three families. Let me read this letter to you. Okay, this letter is dated the 27th of October. 27th of October 2020. It reads, Honorable Vani Salif, Minister, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Republic of Liberia. Dear Honorable Minister, reference, assistance in recovery of our missing children. We, the families representing the Blamos, Buemans, and Buyakos, are kindly requesting your urgent intervention for the recovery in the situation involving 3 of our missing children allegedly drowned. These, because I was Moses said, right? The children got drowned. Can you imagine? He said these children are Robert M. Blamo Jr., Siafa Gbanan Bueman, and Bobby S. Boyanko within the former district Lower Born County. This mysterious incident occurred on Saturday, October 17, 2020, while doing a piece of job at a mining company owned and operated by Mr. Moses Ausu and Mr. Ibrahim S. Samuels on their contractorship. Up to present, we have not gotten any credible report of their whereabouts. Rather, been drowned while attempting to come back as claimed by Mr. Moses Ausu. According to stories received and based on our investigation, they are still alive, but fingers are being pointed to some ritualistic activities which we want to bring to your attention. In view of the above, we will appreciate your effort were you to approve the going of the National Chairman of the Traditional Council of Liberia to perform some rituals in the recovery of our lost children. Thanks for your usual and kind consideration. Yours sincerely, Mr. Robert M. Blamo Sr., father of Robert M. Blamo Jr. His number is there. Mr. Samuka V. Kone, uncle of Siafa G. Buema. His number is also there. And Mother Gertrude Dijon, mother of Bobby Buyanko. Her number is also there. So this is the letter. This is the letter that was written by the 3 families, specifically heads of the 3 families. This letter was requested by the Ministry of Internal Affairs before they can issue the permit or the clearance to go and release the children. This was the letter they requested from the families. The families have done their part. The families have written this letter requesting a permit or a clearance to go and release the children. Today they're supposed to have gotten that clearance or the permit. The minister cut off his phone or probably refused to answer according to the intelligence I have received just now. So you see what's happening? So all of you watching this podcast, we plead with you. We want to appeal to you to please intensify the pressure. What we need right now is public pressure as we pray to God for the recovery and release of those children. Those children are innocent. They just want to kill them for power, for money, for fame. How long do you have to live on earth to get involved with ritualistic killing and all kinds of evil deeds? How long do you have to live on earth? Let's be honest here. Those are people's children. Do you know what it means to bear 9-month pain? Those of you who are mothers, those of you who are our sisters, you know what it means to bear such pain for 9 months, and somebody just come and snatch away your child, your children, for ritualistic purpose or purposes. This is the time for us to stand up. This is the time for us to stand up. Somebody say, Martin, please play the voice of the Father again. Okay, I'm going to play this one for 7 minutes because the entire thing is like 20-25 minutes. I'm not going to play the entire thing because I got other audios to play. I'm going to play this one again. I want you to just listen to the Father once more. Listen to what he said. This audio is for 7 minutes. I'm not going to play the entire thing because of time. I'm going to play you another audio for you to listen. Listen very well to some of these startling revelations. Someone got killed again in the prison, in the cell, while in police custody. The police wanted to conceal this information until it leaked out. So I'm going to expose them. You were listening to the sister of the deceased. Another child got killed in Bombing County. Pass extracted. Ritualistic killing all around. Ritualistic killing all around, my people. What are we doing about it? One day we too could be affected if we don't take action as a people in the country. It's really sad. Eh? This is pathetic. It's really, really pathetic. I'm becoming emotional, in fact. You take away people's children and you say you can bring them until they bring permit as though the children committed a crime? Wow. Liberia has become a killer country. So let me play this again so you listen. It's really, really sad. Really, really sad. Play this again so you're listening very loud. Play. Yeah, I get to you now. I'm on Messenger now. Hello? Oh, God. Hello, Pop? Yeah, I'm getting you now. You can go ahead. I'm getting you loud and clear. We are on Messenger now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the director office, and we had the open discussion. The police director spoke with him on the phone and with on loudspeaker. And he said that they have mandated the police to go into the trouble spot and find the children. He said they knew now that the children were not dead but missing. And they invited the Internal Affairs Minister because we are going to the Minister of Internal Affairs with a letter requesting him to empower Chief Zaza Kawa to have the children brought back. The minister said his assistant minister to meet with us as a family at the director for police office.
Right.
And told us that they were going to meet Zaza Kawa and instruct him to go. So all give them money in his spirit here to proceed to wherever the way we can get to the island upper Handy.
Right.
And across the Sipor River.
Right.
To get the children out. But for all invitation, the children are on the island.
Okay. So
Now,
it was established. So it was established that the children are on the island, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. Go ahead, I'm listening.
We take the Sazakawa now to see if we can all go together. Because certainly they inform us that it is a spiritual, there's a ritualistic thing going on. You gotta be spiritually prepared to go there. So we decided to go there under his guidance and protection. But the time we got to Sanakawa this morning, Sanakawa said he will not take one step until he get the permit from the Ministry of Internal Affairs because say this to him by verbally, he don't trust that when he's doing and he's being questioned tomorrow, he will not have anything in his defense.
Right.
So if we serious as a family, we should go to the minister. The minister will let him do a permit to him, waiting instruction, and then he will go. We've been trying to get the minister to know a day. Minister can answer his phone. Yeah, so we might get in contact with Senator Prince Johnson. Senator Johnson called him and then they had some misunderstanding. Senator Johnson was so angry if you all want to incite violence in the country because if you all continue there and the kid don't children, the Nibarian will go after the people in the poor bush there too. And I think the war will start. So you all get a permit. And as I speak to you, nothing is being done. So we're trying to form a delegation now to go and see if we can meet the minister personally and ask him why he is not able to give us the permit.
So the only hold on right now. So the only hold on right now to release the children is the permit from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, right?
That's the only hold on right there.
Okay, so there are a few facts to establish here. Number one, the children are alive. Number two, they only hold on to release those children except the Ministry of Internal Affairs produces or gives a permit. Am I getting you right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. All right. So the Minister of Home is off.
The minister is on and is ringing, not answering. That's all.
So you guys were at the ministry this morning?
We didn't miss Sanakawa because everything we decided yesterday, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Associate Minister told us that they were coming in. Sanakawa confirmed that the kid had talked to him verbally, but you know what can happen.
Right.
They will start accusing him. And you know, we suspecting the way he's saying it, like some big hands behind it.
Exactly. So Zanzankawa is willing to release the children, but all he needs is a permit from the ministry, so that tomorrow they can blame him for releasing the children without permit. Am I getting you right?
Exactly.
All right.
That's why he does it. That's the condition.
Okay. All right. So this morning, that was the meeting you and Zanzankawa had. Zanzankawa said he can go to release the children except the ministry authorizing him through a permit.
Through the permit, he's not going to move with any verbal instruction.
And what is the police saying? After getting such feedback, what is the police saying? What is the police director, Patrick Sudu, saying relative to the conditions Zanzankawa has put down?
Patrick Sudu says, even though he's the African man, he don't believe in, he knows the African thing works, but a police operation is scientific. So they believe in fact, nobody going to tell him about cognizant, this and that. So that should be our responsibility to deal with it. But he already dispatched the police, according to him, he dispatched his police to go there.
When did he dispatch the police?
He dispatched for the 5 now, same day morning.
And you confirm that? You confirm that they have been dispatched?
Yeah, confirm that.
Okay, so they were sent to the bush with guns or what?
The problem now is where to go and where to start from.
But is somebody leading them? Is somebody leading them to the particular area? Because I'm hearing island. So do they really know the island?
We told them about the place yesterday, but the suspect who owns the island is a guy who lives only on the island, one man they call Vokwa.
Vokwa, okay.
And he's the only one that lives on the island.
So Vokwa has been arrested.
And it was his,
Okay, fellow Liberians, I'm about to play this other audio. You hear St. Moses begging the families, what can he do for settlement? No, families don't want settlement. They want the children back. I was trying to play that audio when they disrupted me this gone Monday. I'm going to play it again because I have received a lot of requests from all of you to send the audio to you. I can send it to everybody, so I'm playing it for all of you to listen. Listen to how the final negotiations Moses was doing for the family to succumb. Then they go and kill the children. I'm about to play that audio. The conversation is between he and Mr. Blamo. Moses and Mr. Blamo having this last conversation. He's trying to negotiate for the families to succumb. To say, oh, Moses, let's just forget it. Accident. He's trying to convince them to turn in an accident. That's a lie. You know? So I'm going to play this. Listen, fellow Liberians. We are here to expose them. Our responsibility is to protect basic human rights and defend the Liberian people. Right to life is inalienable. It's inalienable. It's indispensable. It is the right of everybody to live. So why you want to take the lives of those children? I'm going to play this audio. Listen to this conversation between Mr. Blamo and Moses. Moses is trying to convince the family how much can he pay for each of the children. Can you imagine? I thought he should be interested in looking for the children, but he's asking how much can he pay. We need to settle it. We need to find a common ground. I said then let's forget it. You come and listen to him. Wow. Liberia is evil. Evil Liberia. You should be asking how can we intensify the search for us to find the children. But you're asking, like I said, then let's just forget it. I beg you. Then he's saying crying. We rarely see trouble with fellow Liberians. The trouble we see by it too big. It's loading. It will soon start. Soon start playing. It's loading right now. This is voices from as I keep hitting the share button or they will not disrupt today. You know what I did? I encrypted my account. That's why they are not easily accessing my account to disrupt. But the more you hit the like button and the share button, they will be far away from this podcast. And I appreciate all of you for being part of this struggle. It is about the people. It is about our country. It's about redeeming the country from ritualists, killers, and cruel men. You know, so I'm playing this for you to listen to the conversation between St. Moses and Mr. Blamo. Let me go here. Okay. So, fellow Liberian, listen to this.
You come in broke. You come in broke on. You come in broke. You come in broke on.
I do not know your family that can comfort your family. I do not know those words. But I'm asking for actually you. I do not know those words. But I'm asking for Bravo. Someone went for in this world and ever looking for. If I ever one day, one moment, ever think that I will hide from this trial family, let me now leave to sing today ever. Bravo. Bravo, this was an accident.
Yeah,
This was an accident.
see, it's an accident. So you're making the family now to forget it.
Too strong. Yeah, Bravo. Bravo, we have known each other for 30 years. You have never done anything to fight me or my family, but rather you have been of help to me. I've benefited from our friendship more than you have benefited. And realizing what you and your family have gone through, I was so that you cut them all as a feather in your last distress. Bravo. I can never let God strike me dead Bravo, I cannot do what people are saying. Those people are lying. Lying, Bravo, they are lying. I can never be holy and so. For what? For what? Oh, Bravo. In all your strife, every human being is different. In all your strife, you and your family never turn to devil for help. I came from nowhere and got to where I am through God's blessing. I cannot turn to the devil. Chocolate to say to find someone, then what of all you? Knowing what you have been going through and still going through. Oh, Bravo. I did not do anything to our son Gia. I am not holding Gia. I do not know any witch that is holding Gia. Hey, Bravo. Let God strike me dead. I'm taking beg you. I'm taking God to beg you. Let us find a way to hey, Bravo, I wrong you. Wrong your family. And that staying strong. No matter what I want someone to do me, I should not have that virtue. But here we are. Here we are. Oh, I beg you. Yeah, I beg you. I beg you. No word. No word. And I stood my ground based upon what we talk before you trusted yourself to come to me. And I stood my ground no matter what JR had convinced me. Without you talking this today.
Exactly.
And they were out of stupidity than me.
Stay playing, fellow Liberians. Keep hitting the share button. The audio hasn't ended yet. You hearing Simose crocodile tear? Instead of you saying, let's look for the children, you saying, what can I do for us to settle it? Because they have already died. Hey, hearing? Wow. Evil doers. I thought you should be telling the father, let's look for the children. Let's search for them, I beg you. But you tell him, say, I said, then let's just forget it.
I need to talk with Bravo Priest. Talking. And they were out of stupidity than me. Hard as I am. I so love JR. He told me, Papa, please let me go. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep. If people go in, let me go. going to 12 o'clock to get to the parish that night. When they never even allow him interest, they took the food for him and carried it to Father Harris. It was Father Harris they go up the line. I started crying when I told him. Father Harrison remained mute for almost 2-3 minutes. He asked me, Moses, when you're telling me it's the truth, that is not it. I said, we can go to Blamo today. I don't want the news reaching to Blamo.
Hit the share button. Hit share like. That's the only way they will not shut down this podcast.
I will inform the brother, please. There's a serious issue. Go to Blamo with them. Blamo me. Blamo, this is your brother. This is your brother that will never divert the evil for you and your wife. Blamo. I don't know what is going on. I don't know. But this will happen to you. And involving me. Therefore, wherever I went, we all love for you.
You hearing?
Why do you not be the person to
They gotta get traffic.
Blamo happy. Blamo happy. Blamo, seriously, I beg you.
Look how that gonna do.
There is no word to comfort you for this blood. I'm yours forever. Blamo, I am yours forever. As long as God gives me breath, I'm out of here. I beg you. I don't owe anything. Ask for any excuse. I am responsible because I did not stand my ground to cool JR down. I hold myself responsible. I cannot escape myself. I cannot give any excuse. I did not. Because of weakness at that very time. This thing. Nobody saw it coming. Up to now, between you and I, you are not down for more than me. I am praying every that let JR appear from nowhere. Then you get a yes. Let's perform that magic for me. Blamo. We're almost approaching now to a week. We get 3 days to go. Blamo, I'm not doing anything here. I know him. No him in this. I am not playing any part in any ritualistic act to destroy JR and the other people. But do I want to give JR, Blamo? God has blessed me. God has blessed me. God has blessed me.
But Moses, you got a report from Burma yesterday. We left Burma last night.
Yes, sir.
We went to the water side.
Yes, sir.
The chief and everybody, even the commissioner, with the security we carried there, everything was just deception. We didn't see any form of canoe right. We didn't see any. The people were not aware of any. All the chief would say was that was your people told them that something happened, but they didn't see canoe. They didn't find nothing. In fact, the place where they went to show us canoe had never landed there before, and you had never passed through that town. All the kind of information we got yesterday. And everybody started to give all kind of small, until they invite the commissioner himself had to go on video to say all the things that happened, he knew nothing, but he just, in fact, he was telling us initially that he went there several times, deployed men. We didn't see nobody. We didn't see no men deployed. Only thing we saw that they pressed one new road to a landing site. And the herbalist there, who is the traditional chief, the deputy, came and made it clear to the security forces that canoe can never land because that place was very close to the waterfall and no canoe man can use it. We saw the place, we took video and took pictures of the place. So the issue of canoe capture, because nobody found the canoe, nobody found any wreck of the canoe, nobody found anything That could resemble a piece of accident there. That how they came up to the conclusion that maybe you all know where the children are and you could help us to get the children back. And that what we as a family, we are appealing to you. Whatever help we can get to get the people who want to go to find Zaza cover the money to talk to traditional people. If they have been here anywhere, whatever they need, let us give it to them and return our children. But all the religious people have prayed with and wife and people went from church to church, people calling from Nimba, people calling from the Palmer's prayer, people calling, they said the children is still alive, but John Boy get wounded. The children is still alive, but they've been held. Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit gave for Brahmos that place. In March of this year, Oji, one boy, Oji, the manager for the mining operation.
Yeah, no, OJ.
Yes, Oji, I can even give you Oji. Oji, me, or how to call himself, or it, we get even photos. The chapter we are not able to beat. We'll show you photographs, even at that very river bank on the back. We'll cross. That was my first time ever crossing over the Chipor in Tino. We crossed that car and went to where we established our tent for the people to do testing for gold. Because Greg could have been far for me. I said, let me come go to. That's how we went when they tested, saw the result. Come and wait here. I crossed over there once. And even Blambo, you know what going there and they show you the place that Jerry then pack the bag and they took the whole study Jerry. I'm sure they show it to you.
Yes.
We saw them.
We saw everything.
Very good. So let me just tell you that not everybody, that particular place I've been, is almost like a private crossing point.
This guy
It's a
can lie.
private crossing point. There's a man with his
This
tower.
man's evil. Wow. The audio just went up like that. Keep hitting the share button, fellow Liberians. They will not disrupt this podcast, or no. We will end the audio. I will play another one for you. We are not giving any chance.
When you cross the river, to wait for me, there's a okay, that's the land that Kino. People don't just go there unless the inhabitants of his place. And since we went there to work behind his area, now we are also using the brushing you see over there. We pay people, AP paid people because we started using that place more frequently. But that's how AP paid people when we're in Monrovia yet. We are taking a break in September. That's how they brush that place.
But most of when they play the brushing they did, the brushing, like they started brushing that place just on Monday or Tuesday when they knew we were coming there.
Yeah.
They brush that place. But even the chief told he don't.
When they eat the people themselves decided to eat it because investigators started going. People started going to know when something happened. As soon as that alarm blew, the people opened the place. We didn't want to pay people to open the fire because there was not a path. Because going to that Kelly path and other things there, we opened that path. There were almost 4 hours workers on that path. That very day, I even down there and looked at people where they are. Look, J.R. was alive, or the Kingdom Man was alive. And that J.R. is the Kingdom Man who got crossed. Our mechanic, one of our pushes on the chief boss, so the mechanic came down to get a new hose. You understand me? When he went there, he got a hose. He was coming. That time we didn't hear him down. We got a group of people coming. 2 persons coming with hoops. So they'll wait. So that it comes together. there was 3 persons with the kingdom men across to come on the team. Now I'm getting the coin Jesus. Now I'm getting I'll give you the mechanic no more. You can call to. Hear me? Now I'm getting with who then J. I would have had it went straight on the team too. Hear me? Almost everybody crosses from that side. Almost everybody. Now morning said before Jara then could arrive, the operator 77, he went into Morovia, tied as well. That's how when they then cross 77 went, he remained there to wait. Opportunity to wait. People coming. Come on. Once you are, I will be too happy. This morning, so thankful. That's why I didn't pay $1,000 to the people the other day. They do everything possible. If the just side is a lie, the second fish out there ever or JR and those other people are. Get me? So this was the accident. And that place looking at it, it's very rough. It's very rough. It's very rough. I'm telling you, I'm not praying that will give me for body of JR. I hope we can
That a living body, I want no dead body. No dead body, I will never accept that.
Yes, I'm telling you, yes.
You hear me? You telling the father, I hope we find a dead body or GR. The father is saying, no, we want a living body. This Moses guy is
So
wicked.
all we need to do, Moses, we stay trying to see what we can do to find out where John Boy is right now. Because
Yes, sir.
the people say
Whatever, come on, go. Help me. Go anywhere. Anything you need in this process, I will provide. No one after the bottom of me. I beg you. If I'm involved, let me be uprooted. Let me be uprooted if I do anything evil to your child. Anything you want to prosper, to giving
Anything you want.
another country to help in this process. I beg you, I'm ready. I don't want us to be divided. I'm a friend. I'm supposed to be to that house every day, working on strategy. But I'm scared, people. I'm scared. Because knowing what you have gone through and the nature of men you are and the love you have for yourself, for such a tragedy to happen, I'm a friend. I beg you, let's open up so that I can deal with the family that has worked together on this thing here. I beg you. You alone cannot go through this. I beg you.
we're trying to go to the internet affair to see if we can get Sasankawa to talk with the people. Maybe the traditional guy in here in the bush there, so we can talk to them. Because what the commissioner told us last day, the commissioner said, you the one when show spot say that where John Boy then went, so the money you get them was only to check to that spot to find John Boy. They check that.
He's lying.
He was even giving a parable. We got on video. You say when you go to the hospital and you say you get malaria, the doctor will treat you for malaria. So you told them that Kino caps are here, and they have not found the Kino.
Now the commissioner said,
Yes.
Bravo, let's open corridor for all of us to be to. I want to come to time. I want us to fight together on this. But I'm scary. Bravo.
It's scary.
I beg you.
We want our son anyway we can get together to do it. I'm not going to kill anybody unless I find my son dead. Then I want a different thing. But as long we are aware, as far as we are concerned, for all indication he stay alive and being held somewhere. So whoever is holding Jumbo, that what we want to get the traditional put the money to see what help they can give us.
Whatever you need in this process, just call the office. I beg you.
Okay.
Yeah, just call the office. We are going to support any effort. Let this thing be on earth. If I am a corporate, let it be brought to book better. I must not be in this thing.
Okay, we're trying to get ready to go to town. We won't go to
So when you get there, whatever you need to foster it, to empower it, just call. You get my number is normally coming out of town. I need
This guy is evil.
That's why anytime we see who's my number that means I'm out of time. That's what happened. So please, we will be open there. Anything we can do.
Yeah.
Anything
you can do.
And then I use the car. Go ahead, use the car. You won't feel or just call. You won't feel or just call.
What can I guarantee?
Let us work together on this. I beg you. I beg you. Please.
Okay. Anything, I will call you back.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, fellow Liberians. You know, what is happening in Liberia is not normal. No, it's not normal. The heightened rate of ritualistic killing in the country is not normal. And this should provoke the anger of all Liberians, whether you are in Liberia or you are out of Liberia. Our people are becoming victimized by these predators, killers, evil, cruel doers. That's who they are. How can you be negotiating with families of those boys? Anything they want, oh, you will do it, but the accident. No, that's not accident. The children aren't dead. This was the audio I wanted to play before they disrupted me on Monday. And thank God all of you have it now. After this podcast, take your time, go through it, and listen to the spider story being explained by St. Moses. A lot of people, dozens and dozens of Liberians have said, this St. Moses has been involved with ritualistic killing. For a very long time, for decades now, he has been killing people. But he has finally reached his Waterloo. This matter is his Waterloo. I can tell you for a fact. Nimbayans are already threatening. If those children are not brought back, the man's wife is from Nimba. The mother of JR is from Nimba. And they are threatening already. If those children are not brought back, there will be war. So let we and others be sitting there thinking that they already killed 4 auditors. They won't kill 3 more children. They think that joke. These people think that joke. These people think that joke. Let me go and play the other audio for you to listen. They've killed 2 more persons. One in Bomi, one in the prison. 2 persons and extracted their body parts. 2 persons, they just killed 2 persons. And the police trying to hide this one. So I'm about to expose them again. I'm going to give you the names of the 2 persons. One person from Bomi, a kid, a child. Her name is Betty Connor. She went missing specifically on the 3rd of September 2020 around the market in Lower Zonclan, Dowen District, Bomi County. Her corpse was later found with parts extracted. The police has been handling this particular case. A 3-year-old child. A 3-year-old child identified as Betty Connor. I'm going to expose them. I'm going to play recording. They don't want you to know. They just killed this child and extracted body parts. If I show you the photo, you see it, you'll cry. They cut the child's leg. The child's leg is not there. The child's private part is not there. The child's right here on the breast. They cut it as well. Very nasty photo. I'm not going to show it here. I'm not going to show it here. Let me just, because I did a brief summary of what I was told, I won't just read the entire story for you to see for yourselves, fellow Liberians, so that you can see for yourselves. So story number 1. I wrote this story for our people to be informed. I'm not only going to explain the story, I'm going to read it. It's on my page. Go to my page, you will see the entire account of how they killed Betty Connor and Abraham Dolly. Those were the 2 persons they recently killed and extracted their body parts. You see how the country getting evil and wicked? So let me go through story number 1. This happened in Bomi County. Bomi County is Western Liberia. Betty Connor went missing on September 3rd, 2020 during General Market Day in Lower Zonclan, Dowen District, Bomi County. The corpse of Betty was just found with body parts extracted, including eyes, tongue, left foot, and other private parts. According to Paramount Chief Kona Mark, this 3-year-old minor was kidnapped by 4 men. The corpse of Betty was discovered near an old farm in Bonoko town, according to Doan District Commissioner Balabu. Bonoko town is right between Moserado County and Bombing County. Betty was living with her grandparents in Doan. Fear has already grabbed citizens of Doan District as a result of this ritualistic killing. The Liberian National Police must come clean and clear on this case and stop covering up incidents of ritualistic killings. The perpetrators must not be shielded by LMP. They must be made to account for such cruelty. The Liberian people deserve to be informed about what is going on. Voices from exile demand justice for little Betty Connor. So that's story number one. I wrote the story because the family members explained to me directly. The police didn't want you to know. The police didn't want the public to know. They were trying to conceal this case. So you see the number of people that are dying every day? Let me go to story number two. So as they explained, then I decided to write a brief narrative about the two cases. It's on my page right now. You go there, you will see it. You can even call the town chief. You can call the commissioner. They will confirm. This was what the police was hiding. It's a partisan police. The LMP is a partisan police. You ain't going to get anything out of them if some of us do not expose these things. You and I know. The police continue to concede, to hide these cases so you cannot know how our people are being secretly killed and gruesomely murdered in cold blood by a killer government. So let's go to story number two. Story number two, it took place at Zone 4 Police Depot, Ghana's. Listen to this. On Tuesday evening, October 13, 2020, Abraham Dolly was arrested by LMP for staying out very late. According to them, he stayed out very late, so they arrested him. The name of the person identified is Abraham Dolly. Dolly was transferred to Zone 4 Police Depot, LPRC Community, Ghana Township. On Friday, October 16, 2020, Dolly got killed by fellow inmates. Quote unquote, fellow inmates. The police said he got killed by fellow inmates. People who are in jail with him or people who are in jail with him. The story continues. Listen, to fellow Liberians. You see how they're killing people in the country? The information leaked to Dolly's family when police officers were planning to secretly bury him. The corpse of Dolly was quickly rushed to Redemption Hospital by LMP after his family was hinted. The family finally had access to Dolly's body yesterday. Major private parts were found missing on Dolly's corpse, according to family members. Numerous calls were made to the commissioner of Zone 4 Police Depot where this ritualistic incident took place, but his number was switched off, and it's even switched off as I speak to you right now. Some officers at Zone 4 Depot say Dolly was killed by fellow inmates, but how come some of his body parts are missing? Why didn't Zone 4 Police Depot report this grave case to Central Headquarters and the Liberian people in general? They must have had a motive. They must have had a motive. Buried before discovery? Do you know what that means? You didn't tell the family. You didn't inform the Central Police Headquarters. You were about to bury him before the family got tipped. But it is too late because details of this case are already in our possession. The LMP must stop covering up. LMP or CDC LMP. Which one? The latter who suffice in my opinion. We are here to accurately inform Liberians everywhere and about everything. Voices from exile demands justice for Abraham Dolly and Betty Connor. We will continue to release more details from family members of those deceased. Ritualistic killing has taken over Liberia under George Weah. Rogue regime, killer government, mafia state, banana republic, zombie nation, kangaroo court, corrupt legislature, zero president. That's the country you have right now under the CDC-led government. So they're killing the people and taking their parts. Then the question is, why are they taking their parts? To do what? Those of you watching this podcast, I'm going to play the sister voice of Dolly. I'm going to play the sister's voice of Dolly. You'll hear Dolly's sister explaining how he got killed and his parts were extracted. And the police was trying to cover up, to hide it from the Liberian people. But you land that in my hand. I'm about to play it. Patrick Suru will be surprised. He will be shocked how Martin Colley getting all this information. I can't expose my sources. No, I can't. They're wondering right now, after this, we'll discuss the audit report, the leaked audit report. You know, and quite frankly, as we get to the audit report, I must commend our Prophet Key. Those of you who know Prophet Key, he has been doing a very great job. We don't agree with the other side of Prophet Key, but he has been doing a very great job. He has been very consistent. Reach out to Prophet Key and tell him thank you. You know, and I want to appreciate his resolve, his commitment to this process. Prophet Key stands for justice. I must tell you this. Regardless of what he says sometimes, that all of us disagree with fundamentally. But Prophet Key is a nationalist. He's a nationalist. I can tell you this for a fact. Prophet Key, PK, is a nationalist. You know, there is another level to nationalism. Those who really love the country extremely, extreme love for the country, they are called chauvinists. Prophet Key is a chauvinist. He really loves Liberia, and he doesn't want to see anything bad happening to Liberia. So sometimes we can understand why he do what he does. You know. So we will play this audio. You will listen to the sister of Dolly, you know, who got killed in the cell. His body parts were extracted. The police refused to inform you. I'm informing you now, and you are about to listen to his sister. We need to seek justice for them. We need to seek justice for Abraham Dolly, and we need to seek justice for little Betty Conner. I'm telling you, they cut the legs of Betty Conner. 3-year-old girl, you cut her legs? You remove her private part? What kind of wickedness is this? If I show you the photo, fellow Liberian, you see it, you'll cry. I don't want to show this photo on Facebook, on social media, because a lot of kids are on social media, they watch these things. If I show you the photo of Betty, if you see Betty's photo, 3-year-old girl, how they butcher her, cut her legs, took her private parts off. You see how the people wicked? You see how the country has turned? A killer country? I saw the photo, I cried. Let me play this audio. Listen, your fellow Liberians. For us, we got all the fights. We will not just tell you, but we got fights. Got the audio. Yeah. And let me just inform all of you watching. The government is threatening my family back home, especially my father and my mother. You know, they have been sending threatening messages to them. My father was on 50-50 today explaining. You know, but one thing I have to say is, there where the real trouble will come from. You know, if you can't confront me, you want to go to my parents? My parents have committed no crime. Why are you targeting them? My father was on 50-50 today explaining how they have been receiving threats from government simply because of my role I am playing to expose their deadly deeds. You order a writ of arrest for me. I am above 18. Deal with me. Don't go to my families. You know, but these wicked people, they think they will go with this. You know, so now they are targeting my family. Wow. It's all intended for me to keep quiet. You know, for me to say, oh, if you don't tell, they told them, if you don't tell Martin to keep quiet, we'll target you. But why you can target me? I'm above 18. I'm not a kid. I'm above 18. Engage me. Let's clash with ideas and not muscles. I'm telling you that you are killing our people. You are looting the national coffers of the country. You are undermining the democratic values of our country. Therefore, the Liberian people only have one option, and that option is to stand up and demand a paradigm shift. I'm not going to show the photo. No, it's really, really nasty. They killed that little child very nasty way. The country is single. So because they can't come to me, they can't engage me intellectually, now they are going to my family. You see them? You know, but I'm challenging them. Anything that happens, fellow Liberians, the government of Liberia will be responsible for my family. We are taking the needful action already. Engaging relevant authorities to explain to them indeed. They have written on Facebook different posts that they will target my father, they will target, because they are there. They are in Liberia and they are not going to go anywhere. The government will be held liable. The government will be held responsible if anything happens to my parents. I want to be very clear, you know. And this is how war can come to the country, right? This is how war came to the country the other day, 1989. When people started targeting people's family, then people regrouped in exile and brought war to the country. I'm not saying I will bring war. I'm just reminding President Weah, right? So they need to be reminded about the history of the country. About the history of the country, fellow Liberians. Let me play this audio. The sister of Abraham Dolly, who was killed in the prison, his body parts extracted. I'm going to play this audio for you. Anything we say will provide facts. We'll not just talk. We'll provide details. We'll provide facts. We'll provide research-based analysis. This platform provides research-based analysis. We don't just talk. When we tell you this, we'll say this is our proof. When we tell you this, we'll say these are our facts. And this is what we stand for: reliability and authenticity. That's why the government wants to shut me down. You can shut me down by targeting my family. Engage me. Provide counter arguments to some of the arguments I can provide. Let's intellectually engage. Do not use your muscles. Do not use force. Do not use violence. Do not use threats, intimidation, harassment, or coercion. Democracy doesn't call for that. Democracy calls for the clash of ideas. Fight me with ideas. Let's fight together with ideas. And leave the rest of the public. As I provide a thesis, provide your antithesis. And the public will provide their synthesis. That's how democracy works. Or you provide your thesis, I will provide my antithesis, and the public will provide their synthesis. That's how democracy works all around the world. You don't use rockets or guns or machetes. You use ideas to debate, to discuss the issues. So they don't want to debate me. I'm hearing that Eugene Fagon will not come this coming Saturday. They have invited us on Spoon FM for a debate. They will not come. They are afraid. So now they want to target my family. It's really shameful. It's really shameful. So I'm going to play this audio. And you can stop me from speaking. Just take that one out of the picture. Let me play this audio for all of you to listen about what happened in the police cell.
To own that issue, explain about the board. You on alright?
Listen, they send this audio to me.
Hello, I'm sending this request to Martin and Collie, who have raised my issue on Facebook concerning the issue that had to do with my brother that was killed in Sunfo depot. He got missing on the Tuesday. He was arrested and put into the cell unknown to the parents, and then trying to look for him from one family member to the other. We couldn't see him. He came from work. According to reliable source that saw him on the road when they arrested him, he tried to plead that I'm just from work, I need to go take by and eat. They refused and put him in the car forcibly and carried him, put him in the cell. According to the story, there were about 22 in the cell. And fortunately, the very night, there was a nurse in the cell while police were on duty. And this my brother started to cry with the police name. Say, oh, come for me, they beating me, they killing me. And there was an armed robber also in the police cell by the name of Dolo, who also were arrested and put in that cell. So Dolo was asked to destroy my brother in his cell. So after Dolo released the order that my brother should be beaten, and they beat my brother unmercifully. They killed him while he was lying on the ground. Police heard the noise. They went there and put tear gas in the cell, and my brother rolled on the ground until he died. So the commander took the body secretly and carried the redemption, and did not return there until the body decay. The body started to spoil. So we are all confused. This brother, we lose him because he was everything to this family. He was trying to be determined to do something. Unfortunately, he met this untimely death in the cell that is on full depot. So we are calling on the advocate to help us so that we can get justice for our brother that was killed innocently in the cell. This request is sent to Martin and Coley, the advocate, to pursue this issue so that we can get justice. I am the sister to this brother by the name of Catherine.
Wow. Killing the people and extracting their body parts. You listening to the woman?
This boy who was killed, name was Abraham Dolo. We killed him in his cell. And upon a reliable source,
people just
the
dying
commander,
on the
in person of Blama Yancey, released another person there by the name of Dolo, who was the honorable heir in the jail. Honorable heir in the jail. After my brother was killed, he released the boy secretly. He, the commander, took the body and went and hid it. So he's all relaxed working. He stayed in office. He relaxed doing his normal work there and nothing happened. So we need justice.
Let's continue with this other audio.
To add on that issue, explain about the boy my brother killed in the cell. The boy was arrested. There is no statement given from the commander to show us what the boy did or what he was arrested, where he was arrested, nothing. You ask the commander, he can't tell you anything. He will just be, sometimes he will act and smile with it. The issue is very, very disheartening. We are all confused. The boy was killed very sorrowful way. Sorrowful way. The commander, that identical commander, the advocate, we are asking you people to help. That commander need to be disrobed. And all those police that were on duty, the boy were crying with their knee, they couldn't attend to it. They need to be disrobed and leave that office.
So, fellow Liberians, you know, when you listen to these stories, imagine 2 more persons have lost their lives. Nothing will come out of it. Nothing, absolutely nothing. 2 persons have lost their lives. Besides the 4 auditors, we are still crying out and demanding the release of the other 3 boys. 2 more persons have added already. And police hiding these cases. When we come out to expose them, then they say, oh, let's issue order of arrest for Martin. As though what I'm doing is a crime. The people are dying. I'm exposing these things for the public to listen to hear what's happening behind the scenes. And for all of us to demand justice. So what crime have I committed? What crime? This has never happened in the country's history before. In a period of just 2 weeks, you talking about more than 9 persons gruesomely murdered in cold blood. Some of them, their parts are extracted. Doesn't this call for national concern? Doesn't this a cause for national concern? Those of you watching this podcast, let's be honest. Our people are dying like flies. Oh no, Mr. We are, and the people never voted for this in 2017 for them to die. God needs to help Liberia. Liberia is finished. That's why I said nobody is safe in that country. The country is being led by criminals, looters, killers, ritualists. So as they kill more people, nothing comes out of it. Every time they kill, nothing comes out of it. Only the Liberian people can stand up and save that country right now. Too many serial killers in the country. And I want to call on all of you watching this podcast. Let's do something about this. Let's do something about this. None of you heard this story. If I'm not going to play it, you are not going to hear it. It was just going to go like that, right? Because police hiding all these stories from you. We have to dig deeper to listen to the cases of these people and bring it to public glare. And bring it to the public glare. None of you knew that 2 more persons have died and they have taken their parts. None of you knew. That investigation, according to the police, is ongoing now. Every day investigation ongoing. We will never get the outcome of these investigations. When you go to the police, investigation ongoing. Since they killed the 4 auditors, they started investigating this case the 10th of October. Have you seen a preliminary report? They say they conducted autopsy. Have you seen any report of autopsy? You think the people are serious? They are responsible for the death of these people. So they will not investigate themselves to get at the bottom. By doing so, they will be exposing themselves. So the only solution right now, fellow Liberians, those of you who are in the diaspora, those of you who are in Liberia, all of us need to unite and put an end to this misery. This cruelty needs to end. If we don't end this, all of us could be affected someday. Somebody could get killed you and nothing will come out of it. If we don't speak against it, if we don't act against it, tomorrow we too could be affected directly or indirectly. Today it is others. Tomorrow it could be us. 2 more persons. So there are two more persons on the number of persons that have died so far. 2 persons. The little girl in Bomi and this other man called Abraham Dolly. His sister just spoke. You listen to his sister. Police was hiding the case, even hiding the body from them. They wanted to bury the body secretly. But I raised the issue on Facebook. She read it. She said, somebody has raised my issue. Then she decided to reach out to me. If we don't raise these issues, how will you know? They will keep killing and killing. If we don't expose them, how will you know? Because the police is a partisan police. Patrick Sudo is an executive member of the CDC. So he will protect the political interests of the CDC. Anything that tends to impute or undermine the reputation or image of the CDC, Patrick Sudo will protect it. Even at the peril of thousands and thousands of lives, innocent lives. Today, where is Gifty? Where is Gifty Lama? Today, where is Abra Peters? Today, where is Josh Famboto? Where is Emmanuel Niswa? They are no more. Why? Because they audited COVID-19 fund and explained in clear terms and details how 48.6 million United States dollars was siphoned, abused, as well as misapplied. Where are we going as a country? As promised, I'm just going to run through the executive summary of this audit report. They are wondering, how did we get a report? And let me again appreciate PK, Prophet Key. Like I said to all of you, reach out to Prophet Key and tell him thanks for the great job. He has been doing real great job for the people. He has been consistent. Prophet Key has been very consistent. He hasn't twisted or tripped. And this is what I like about Prophet Key. He's very consistent. If he says he's against the government, he's against the government. He's not on both sides. So this report is from Prophet Key. He chose to share with me, and I appreciate him very well. We are going to begin analyzing this report from a more academic perspective so that you understand the details of this report. So we'll go to the executive summary for today before we end this podcast. The report is damaging. And after we analyze this 44-page report, we'll share with you. This was the report why they killed those auditors. The report has finally leaked. So why did he kill the auditors? Why did he kill the auditors? The very report he killed those auditors for, the report is in our possession. And we are going to share with all Liberians around the world. The very audit report they killed those auditors for. They never wanted people to have access to this audit report, considering its damaging nature. We have the audit report now. So why did you kill the auditors? And we will share this report with all Liberians to see how desperate, greedy, cruel, and evil the government of President Weah is. We'll share the report with everybody. If you go to my page, I have started sharing some pages of the report. I'm just going to analyze 2 versions of the report for today's podcast, and we'll continue the analysis next podcast as of Friday. We'll continue the analysis next podcast. Oh yeah, sure. You know, Prophet Key has been doing a great job. Tell him Martin says, and all of you who know Prophet Key, just tell him, reach out to him, tell him thank you. You know, we appreciate the work he continues to do. When somebody does well, you must appreciate him or her. You know, that's the only way you will motivate him or her to do more. Like I said, yes, we don't like the other side of PK, but most of what he says, they have facts. You know, yeah, they have facts. And the thing I like about him, like I said, he's consistent. He's consistent. When he says, I'm against this thing, I'm against you, he will not trip or he will not wither. That's consistency. He says he's against the Weah-led government because they are undermining the progress of the people. Because they are corrupt. They are stealing, they are killing. So nothing has really moved him or deterred him from speaking out against the Weah-led government. Oh yeah, I'm going to share this report. Let me inform you, I've already shared this report with 3 international news outlets, as well as 4 international organizations, including an international audit firm. So the report is already gone. That the report didn't kill the people for. Why did they kill the people? Because they never wanted the report to leak. The report has been leaked already. So why did you kill the people? Why did you kill the auditors? Why did you kill the auditors? This report in our possession, fellow Liberians, was the death sentence of those auditors. Death sentence of those auditors. They've been investigating since the 3rd of October. Today is the 28th. Have you gotten any preliminary report? Those of you watching this podcast, tell me. Oh, they are trying to disrupt the show because they don't want me to. Please hit the share button and hit the like button, fellow Liberians, those of you who are on. I just received, because while I have a security on my phone, when they're trying to disrupt it, they can signal me. Keep hitting the like button and the heart button and keep sharing. I beg all of you who are on, please. That's the only way the show will not shut down. I'm about to explain the report now. They want to disrupt. You know what they're doing now? They're looking for the person who leaked the report. How will you find the person? Our sources are anonymous. You can find our sources. They are anonymous. And we will never expose to you who gave us this report. No. You go in the sky, you fall down, we'll never tell you who leaked this report to us. We will never ever. It is our responsibility to conceal the identity of our source or sources. And that's what we will do. And that's what our people trust us to do. We will not betray their trust like you. You've betrayed the people's trust. You've looted the national coffers and built private properties against their interest. Schools are closing. Hospitals are closing. Our people are dying mysteriously. No justice for the poor. In fact, the court system we have in Liberia is a kangaroo court system presided over by junta judges. So where's the country going? So let's get to the report. Let me just analyze the first page and also go into another version of the report to analyze for you. Like I said, I'm going to share this report with all of you. See how damaging this report is, fellow Liberians. Very, very damaging. Very, very damaging. And if this report doesn't provoke you, then I don't know what will provoke you again. So this is a 44-page report. In other words, the report has 44 pages. Let me just read the caption for you. The Internal Audit Agency, RAA, the motto of the agency is helping you to do the right thing in the right way. So Niswa, Albert, Gifty, and Famboto were helping the government to do the right thing in the right way, and they met their untimely death. They never knew that they were signing that death sentence by releasing this report to various ministries and agencies for their response or responses. They had no idea that this report would have been their death sentence. When we come to this platform, we come with facts. We come with facts. We believe in truth telling. Our reliance is authenticity and reliability. Yeah, y'all keep sharing. I beg you, they won't disrupt the part of the podcast because they know I'm coming to discuss how damning and damaging the report is. The police not interested in anything. Okay, let me just ask you before going to the content of this report. How many cases we haven't had as a country and a people? How many? How many cases haven't the police investigated? Every day they are investigating. Let's go back to the situation in district number 15. What happened in district number 15? They almost killed members of the opposition political parties during the saga of Tilia Yuri and Abu Kamara. Since the police said it was investigating, have you seen any report or outcome of such investigation? Let's go to district number 13. When Jefferson Koji led a group of thugs from the Sabu and Zebra units, is there any outcome to that investigation? No. Let's go to district number 10. When the children at Yeke Koluba's party were attacked viciously by ruthless and brutal elements of the CDC, is there any outcome of that investigation? No. Let's go to what happened at the Liberty Party when Darius Dillon was pronounced or announced winner of the election in 2019. Is there any outcome of that investigation? What about Justino Taylor's situation? Is there any outcome of that investigation? No. I'm naming no more of investigations. Every day police say we're investigating. So how will the people trust the police when we cannot have a single outcome of any one of those investigations? Let's be frank. Let's be fair. When we say these things, when Martin Collins speaks out these facts, these truths, these hidden truths, then you use the code you go to my family and you threaten them. That would be the worst mistake. The worst mistake to make. To think you can threaten my family to repress or subjugate me, that would be the worst mistake. Oh yes. They phoned me and said the people are threatening us every day. You know? So I just wanted to inform all of you how they are threatening my family back home. And they will be responsible if anything happens. My father was on 50-50 today, go on Tima Gilate's page. He was discussing how they are being threatened every day. You know, even on social media, you know, everywhere they go, they are being threatened and intimidated because I speak truth to power. I speak truth to justice, accountability, fair play, equity, probity, transparency. And because of these truths, the government is unsettled. The government often jitters whenever I speak these truths. But I thought they said they were bringing change. Yeah, Odiashemo. What has come out of the case of Odiashemo? The government been investigating dozens and dozens of cases. I challenge any one of you to tell me an outcome of any one of those cases. Look at you holding the people's 3 children. 3 children you are holding. You won't kill them. If we are not putting public pressure, by now they are dead. They tell you release the children and you put it down precondition. You have to go to the Ministry of Internal Affairs for certificate, the other one, before we release the children. This is unfair. This is not called for, fellow Liberians. Those children are not yours. They are theirs. Mr. Blambo, Mr. Corner, and the other old man. Why are you treating your citizens in such manner? If you cannot protect security, if you cannot provide security for the citizens, you are not a responsible government. They don't want us to expose them, their wrongdoings, their mishaps and missteps. The situation of the 3-year-old boy in West Point, what has come out of it? I'm naming all the cases. Oh, I'm naming all the cases tonight. You tell me what has come out of those cases. Cite one of those cases and say, Martin, okay, this is what has come out of this other case. I challenge any one of you. I'm naming all the cases. Every day police tells you, oh, we're investigating. Investigation is ongoing. Where? Moses Carter says on the radio and lies. Every other day. The 3-year-old boy in West Point, he was buried. The other case in West Point again, where the guy was brutalized. Look at that girl who was killed at Thomas Fowler's house during the party. What has come out of it? You tell me the outcome of those cases, and I will tell you how dishonest the police is, or the LMP is. All these people are dying in cold blood, and nothing coming out of anything. Yet we sit and look at them without taking action to put an end to this national tragedy. What has come out of the missing 16 billion? Yes, at least we got a report. Yes, we can use that report tomorrow, the Crow's report. That's the only thing we've got so far. But we have freed the other people that were in jail because of political interest. He too is, he himself, he is involved in the missing 16 billion saga. You say the bug had a country in his heart. If he had a country in his leg, but now the country has obliterated. Imagine a country in his heart. If he had the country in his leg, in his foot, but now there is no country. But now there is no country. When we bring these issues to public glare, then they target us. So they are not only targeting me now, they are targeting my family. with an intent that I will keep quiet. As they continuously threaten the lives of my family, then I will keep quiet. That is the motive. So let's go to the report. So what is the period of the report? You know, every audit report has specific period, right? It covers specific period. There's no audit report of all a specific period because you have to audit from this period to this. You have to audit from this period to this period. So the auditing period, they can call it auditing period. Those of you who are professional auditors. The auditing period here is from February 22nd to the 30th of June 2020. And this report was submitted to the Ministry of Health, specifically the IMS. The IMS is Incident Management System. And who is the head of the IMS? The Minister of Health, Wilhelmina Njala. I'm going to take my own time to explain this report to you. I know. You go to the table of content, you will see the various descriptions. Number 1, executive summary. 2.0, you have the background. 3.0, you have the objective. 4.0, you have the scope of the audit. I will explain all these terms to you on Friday, but I just want to run through 2 different versions. Number 5.0, you have the audit methodology, the pattern or the system or the methods they use to arrive at some of the findings and conclusions. But like I said, I will explain these terms to you on Friday. 6.0, you have the audit findings and recommendations. Now, let's go to the first page of the report. 1.0 is executive summary. The executive summary gives you a clue of what is in the report, of what the actual content of the report is. That's what the executive summary gives you. So you don't necessarily have to read the whole report to know what is in the report. In as much as you have access to the executive summary, you already have a clue what is in the report. So that's why usually auditors will do the executive summary as the first page of the report, because audit reports are usually very lengthy, long, exhaustive. So if you don't have time to go through the entire 44 pages, just take the executive summary and you will get the clue to the actual content or what is in the report. So let's go to the executive summary quickly. Like I said, we don't have time. I will just look at the executive summary and I will tell you about the situation where 12 hotels, 12 hotels spent over 1.2 million on 12 hotels in 2 months. You see, and those places are not even standard hotels, like Calano Hotel. That thing, that motel, not even hotel. Executive in less than 30 rooms. You giving Calano Hotel less than 30 rooms, 200,000 in 2 months. For what? When I begin to call some of the numbers and figures, the only thing you would do to bow your heads down in regret, frustration, and lamentation. The country is being destroyed by Mr. Weir and his cohort of thieves. I call them kleptocrats. I also call them arrogant illiterates who do not understand statecraft and the essence of leadership. Because if they understood what leadership actually means, they will lead in the interest of the people and not in their own interests. So this is the executive summary. It gives you a brief, right? It gives you an overview, just a synopsis, in other words, of what is actually in the report or what the report actually contains. So let me read the first part of the executive summary. Okay, let me read the introduction of the executive summary. It says, the Internal Audit Agency has conducted the audit of the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, NPHIL, and the Ministry of Health, MOH, COVID-19 activities as mandated by the Office of the President of the Republic of Liberia for the period of February 2nd, 2020 to June 30th, 2020. During the review of documents submitted, the following were observed. Listen to the observations as contained in the executive summary. Number 1, no evidence of approval for $48,637,711. Are you hearing this? No evidence. No evidence. That means no trace or no proof of approval. In other words, authorization. Go ahead for $48,637,711. COVID-19 National Response Budget. You think that money is small money? 48.6 million, nobody approved of it. And they just snatch it away. So now you know why those auditors were gruesomely murdered, right? Now you know why those auditors were gruesomely murdered. When you go through this report, you will even call for Mr. Weir to step down now, right now. Number 2, co-meekly of COVID-19 fund. Now let me explain co-meekly, right? Co-meekly, first in the context of grammar, is present progressive tense. Right? It's a verb. Co-meekly means to blend, to put together. So if, for example, if you have 2 accounts and you decide to merge or put those 2 accounts together, in auditing it's called co-meekly. In auditing it's called co-meekly, right? So co-meekly of COVID-19 fund, $996,300 with Ministry of Health operational account. And they gave you the 2 account numbers that were co-mingled, put together to make one. Now, let's go to the next. Concealment of 71,500 transaction. Concealment means to just hide. So they could not even trace 71,500 United States dollars. Somebody hid this money, and up to now there is no proof of how it was expended or used. Number 4, no evidence of liquidation report for cash advances valued $7,261 and $2,900,800 Liberian dollars. No proof, right? No proof of report relative to how this cash was given out. That's what they mean. You don't have any financial report to prove that $7,261 plus $2,900,800 were actually given out in cash and paid. No evidence. Didn't get receipt, no report, no voucher, no pro forma, nothing at all. They just giving the money out. Who were they giving it to? Who told you they were giving it to anybody? It was going in their pockets. Wow. Now we know why the auditors were gruesomely killed. Now we know. Number 5, payments made with all valid contracts. So they were paying people, right, without showing auditors the contracts. Because the thing is, before you even spend huge cash, there is a law on expenditure. It's called the PPCC law of 2005. You cannot spend more than, like, for example, 10,000 United States dollars without going through a legitimate procurement process. Or you cannot hire a company without going through a competitive bidding process. The law is very clear. But on Friday, I will break down all these things for you. But I'm just running through because we are out of time. So this part of the report, the executive summary, is saying payments were made without valid contracts. So before you go into any transaction with any firm or any company, there must be a legitimate contract to prove that yes, indeed, there is an agreement between the government of Liberia and this contractor or this firm. But they were just paying people, paying firms, paying companies without any legitimate agreement between the government of Liberia and those companies. Those quote unquote, because those companies are ghost companies. They are ghost companies. Number 6, allowance value $79,212 for March 2020, not accounted for. So allowance, or they say they pay allowance or allowances. $79,212 just for 1 month, March 2020. The allowances that they pay. There is no trace of proof that they pay allowance or allowances amounting to $79,212. You see how the people corrupt? And you see how the country is being looted? When we tell you every day, you say we hate the government, we hate President we are. Wow. How will you pay allowances? There's no trace or there's no proof that you pay allowances. And you talking about almost 100,000 here. 100,000 United States dollars, you think it's a joke? For you to claim that you pay allowances, but no proof, no receipt, no payment slip. Wow. Let's go further. Lack of procurement plan and no objection authorization from PPCC for contracts valued $913,675. The other contract are almost $1 million. There is no absolute procurement plan, no authorization from the PPCC for this contract to be granted. Because I told you, before a contract is granted to a firm, there must be competitive bidding. There is something called competitive bidding. It means group of companies can bid, they can apply for the contract, right? Now the PPCC will have to scrutinize those companies in line with the law. Number 1, they look at their past performance. Number 2, they look at their capacity to produce or deliver on the contract. Number 3, they look at their capital base. So there are basic requirements to look at before a company is considered for such contract, especially a contract value almost $1 million. So they gave out this contract amounting to $913,675 without any procurement plan, number 1, without any approval from the PPCC, number 2, there was no bidding process, number 3, nothing. They just gave out $1 million like that. The report says in its executive summary, discrepancy in disbursements of compensation made to casual laborers at Star Base, payment made to POC balances, and overpayment to Base 1 luxury value $120,604.20. So they were even overpaying people. For example, this hotel, actually the actual cost of this hotel, if you do the value, is like $3,000 per month. But they will tell you, oh, we'll give you $30,000. So you gave us kickbacks, you gave us brown envelopes, shady deals. So if this hotel per month would cost $3,000, they say they will raise the price to $30,000. That's what they were doing. Then you will share the balance. You take your $3,000 from there. They are trying to disrupt the podcast. Please keep hitting the share button and the like button. They're trying to disrupt the podcast. Keep hitting. They don't want you to hear these fights. Keep hitting the share button. Keep hitting the share button and the like button and the heart button. They don't want you to hear these things. They don't want you to hear these things. They have begun disrupting the podcast. They have begun disrupting the podcast. They don't want me to expose their deadly deeds, how they are looting the national coffers of the country against the will of the people. You know, these are the people you put in power. You see how they're stealing from you? Wow. You see how they're stealing from you? This is just the executive summary. When I go deep in the report, you hear some of the things. That Wilhelmina Jala woman, she's very corrupt. That minister of health you got, very, very corrupt. It's because of her proximity to President Weah, that's why she's being protected. But the next government will persecute these people for siphoning state resources and mismanaging public resources as well. So let's end the executive summary. We have like 3 more pointers. So Bless One Luxury TIN is now found in the LRA online application and PPCC procurement platform. Let me explain this part. You see, all of the contractors usually that bid for certain contracts, they are part of 2 different platforms. You got the LRA online application platform, because usually these firms, when they get these contracts, they pay taxes. So the LRA has a lot of these firms logged in their system. And those firms that are logged in their system are legitimate because they got accreditation from the government of Liberia. Then they are also on the procurement platform of the Public Procurement Commission of Liberia. So if you are not on this platform or you are not logged in LRA's system, you cannot have a contract. That's the legitimate procedure right there. So what these buckers were doing, they were taking millions and millions of dollars, giving it to companies and firms that are not even on the PPCC's platform, as well as the LRA's online platform. Are you hearing me? Illegitimate companies, bogus companies, overnight firms and establishment. They just went and established their own firms. They went and established their overnight companies and gave their companies contracts without observing the PPCC law or complying with basic standards. The contrafinio. I was reading this report, fellow Liberians. I was disturbed. Let's go to the second to the last pointer on our executive summary. No evidence of GOL tax remittances from POC's payments. And value $29,318.36. Wow. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. POC is just an observatory center. Because before you go to the 14 military hospital, people who were sent at the 14 or to the 14 military hospital, they first stop at the POC. Right? This first stop at the POC. The POC is an observatory center of COVID-19 patients. So they will go through the POC for 2 weeks. They will treat them. They will observe them for 2 weeks. If they come down with the virus, then they send them to the military hospital now. They are finally declared as COVID-19 patients. So all the POCs, their payments, there were payments or there was no evidence of GOL tax remittances from POC's payments value $29,318. So GOL should have actually benefited from taxes to be paid by those POCs. But those POCs did not pay those taxes in the account of the government. Value at $29,318.36. So where did the money go? Because this money should have been needful revenue of the government. So where did it go? In whose pocket? So no evidence of government tax remittances. They're supposed to remit this money in the account of the government through the IRA. Because people who were working at these POCs, they were paying income taxes to the government of Liberia. And if you look at the tax record of this fund being audited by those 4 auditors, deceased now, they didn't see this money that should have been in the account of the government. So where did it go? In whose pocket? In whose pocket? Now, let me take you to another version of the report quickly before we can close. Very interesting report. The IAA responded to what I posted on my page, and they said, we cannot confirm, neither can we deny. They know this is the truth. They can challenge this report. I challenge them. The report has been leaked, so why did you kill those auditors? You never wanted this report leaked. You took the laptop of Mr. Lama, you took the phones of Gifty and other auditors. Because you never wanted this report to leak. The report has been leaked. So why did you kill the auditors? Why did you kill the auditors? This report clearly demonstrates who you are. You abused, you misused, you misapplied and misappropriated 48.6 million United States dollars for what? When the people are living in poverty? Wow, these people are wicked. Let me show you another wickedness in the report. This report, when you read it, you'll cry for Liberia. You'll cry for Liberia when you read the report. You'll say the country finished. The people are evil. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to a specific version. Okay, on page 15, yeah, around page 15. Like I said on Friday, I will take my own time. We'll go through this report. When we go through this report bit by bit, then I will share with all of you. Share, and you have it in your possession now. Tomorrow, the people will account for their money. All of you will have that report, or the other you will have this report. They will account for this money. You think for the 8.6 million a joke? They cannot account for 16 billion. They cannot account for 25 million. They cannot account for the recent 30 million that we borrowed from the IMF for quote-unquote food distribution. Those of you watching this podcast, tell me whether they have distributed food to your communities. Besides those few communities, they distributed food in West Point, Lockington, Newcastle. Name the other, because they said the food distribution exercise was going to affect all counties. Liberia has 15 counties. You stay in Montserrat since March, you started distributing food. We are in October going to the end of the year. So where is the 30 million? Now you have stolen 48.6 million again of donors' fund and individual contribution towards the fight against COVID-19. You see how the people wicked? So now the strategy is loot the country and kill the auditors later. That's the newest slogan under the leadership of George Weah. Loot the national coffers of the country and build your private properties. Amass wealth, Ralph Lashika. Loot the country. When you finish looting the country, then you kill the auditors later to cover up, to erase the facts, so that people cannot know what you've done under the shady covering of your deadly deeds. Oh, the former passport director, he's about to release a number of bombs. We have not forgotten about the passport scandal. Like I told you, I will release some information this week on the passport. We are expecting some diplomatic passports that were issued to non-diplomats, people who were not even consul general or honorary consuls. They gave diplomatic passports to them. We'll release those books and you see for yourselves how corrupt this regime is, and they have compromised the national interest of the country. It's really sad. You selling your country's passport? Do you know what it means, Mr. Weir? To auction, to commercialize or monetize the country's passport. The country's passport is the national symbol, the national identity of the country. You commercializing it, Mr. Weir? The country's passport represents our sovereignty, our existence, our autonomy. And you take our passport, not ordinary, not official passport, but diplomatic passport, and you're making business out of it? Wow. Who does this? Who does this? The country in trouble, man, people. For those of you who think anything changing anytime soon, you just rethink. Think about something else. Nothing is going to change. As they loot the state, the coffers of the state, they will continue to kill those who challenge them, who expose them. That's what they are doing right now. So let's go to page number 25 of the report. Now let me expose something here quickly. Table number 8, payment made to POC balances and overpayment to Bless One Luxury value at $120,604. Listen to this fellow Liberian. 12 local hotels, not even international hotels. The only international hotels among those hotels that they hire their services was Palm Spring, right? Not the only international hotel, besides also local hotels. Local hotels. But I'm going to call the money they gave these local hotels. Those places are not even hotels, they are inns. Just to pass the night there. their inns or their motels, if you like. How can you give? Look at what they gave 12 hotels, my people, in 2 months. Oh, 2 months for each of those hotels. They gave $1,125,902 to just 12 local hotels that are not even up to standard. Let's begin with Executive Inn. Executive Inn is owned by Calano, George Calano. If you know George Calano, he's a diehard member of the CDC right now. So between like February, April 2020, George Calano received $185,167.94. Are you hearing me? And they are owing, I'm sure they have given him the balance, but the agreement was they were going to give him 330,000 United States dollars. Are you hearing me, fellow Liberians? Just for that Executive Inn. I don't know how many of you know Executive Inn along the RIA highway. There's not even 2-story building, 1-story building. Less than 20 rooms. They paying Calano 330,000 United States dollars, almost $500,000. Are you killing me? Just for 2 months? The people are very wicked. Very, very wicked. Let's go to the other hotel again of George Calano. Calano Hotel, POC number 2. From February to April 2020, they signed a contract to give, you know Calano Hotel, right? Going to Oro. That hotel, right? That thing is not even a hotel. That thing is an inn. INN inn. Or motel. That thing not up to the standard of hotel. But listen how much they gave him again for Calano Hotel around the Oro Belt. 200,000 United States dollars. They're paying upfront. For this other one, according to the other report, they are still owing $144,832.06. They have given him $185,167.94. So just the 2 hotels of Calano, George Calano, the agreement they signed, 530,000 United States dollars, more than $500,000. 2 months for his 2 hotels, he got less than 30 rooms. It makes sense to anyone of you watching the podcast? It makes sense to you? I'm talking about US dollars. It makes sense to you? 530,000 just for Calano's 2 local hotels in 2 months. And most of those COVID-19 patients were not even there for 1 week, 2 weeks. No, some of them were just there for 2 days, 3 days. The people are bad. That's why they killed the auditors for. The report has leaked. That they report the killed the auditors for. They didn't want you to know these facts and figures. 2 hotels. Those of you who know Calano's Hotel, you know what I'm talking about. That's not hotel. It's not hotel. It's not even near Boulevard Palace, Palm Spring, or Royal Grand. No, it's not. You know why they went to these one more hotels? To spend more money and get their cuts, get kickbacks. You see how greedy and cruel these people are, very corrupt. You know, when I read this report, I cried. I'm still crying. When I read this report, I cried. Then look at the other resort again. Blessed Luxury Resort. The other resort, my people, when you go there, and I even looking at motel set, far less than motel. Blessed. Those of you who know Blessed Luxury Resort, you know how much they get in 2 months? $208,244.20. Sunday are even less than 10 rooms. Oh. Less than 10 rooms. Small rooms. Just 2 months. Just for COVID-19 patients. Not even patients. People who have been suspected of COVID-19. Just for them to be there while they monitor their situation like 1-2 days. 1-2 days. And people like, bro, you know, so these are the hotels. Then Golden Key Hotel, they gave Golden Key Hotel 40,000. Yes, the contract they signed with Golden Key actually was 75,460 United States dollars. Then Bar, imagine Bar and all, they signed contract with Bar, BAR, Bar 70, POC number 5. The contract they signed, the amount 59,000. These people are bad. Then Traveler in Guest House. Guest House. Listen to how much they get a guest house. $100,080. Check. These people really came to Ludo. Guest house, 2 months, just for a few persons to stay there for a few days. They're almost looking like you building 2 more of those that guest house. With this amount, 100,080 United States dollars. Then they get here, Bessie Hotel Beach. Bessie Hotel Beach. Only 1 month, oh. 1 month, Bessie Hotel Beach. Not even 1 month, less than 1 month. From March 15th to March 31st, they use that hotel. Not even hotel, sir. They think they're not hotel. Bessie Hotel Beach. POC 8. From the 15th of March to the 31st of March, they gave them $35,840. Less than 14 days. Oh. You see how the people stole the money? Then listen to the other one, Milk Group Apartment. They want an apartment. They used their apartment from March 19 to April 1, 2020. You know how much they get the Melt Group Apartment? $35,400 United States dollars. Wow. The other one at Lodge, Jayonos Lodge, from April 10 to May 10, $20,615 United States dollars. Ganta Ambassador, from April 10 to May 10, $10,300 United States dollars. Golden Gate Hotel, from March 14 to March 28. Listen how much they gave Golden Gate. Golden Gate around the SKD complex. They gave Golden Gate $68,300 United States dollars. So the total amount in terms of contractual agreement, the total amount they signed with these 12 quote unquote, I want you to put it in quote unquote hotels, $1,318,435. How much have they paid so far as of the reporting period, or as of the release of this report? They had paid $1,125,902. So the balance remaining to pay these 12 hotels, according to the audit report, $268,732 for the 6 cents. Now people were in trouble. Just the 1 page alone can make you to cry. But when you go deeper and you read through the report, you will cry for Liberia. The country is finished, oh. For those of you who are not aware, the country is finished. So this is how we want to end it. We've been here more than 1 hour, 2 hours, 40 minutes. So we have to end now. We want to appreciate all of you fellow Liberians for joining us. This is Voices from Exile with Martin K. and Cully. Those of you who are on, do me a favor. There are 3 links, 3 different links on this podcast. One leads you to a YouTube channel. Just click that link. You'll go to our YouTube channel, our new YouTube channel, and you can subscribe. Subscribe by clicking the link to the YouTube channel. We also have our new page. You click that link, you will go to our new page. You can like and join the page. And the third link is our group. You can join the group as well by clicking that link. 3 different links.